is it fascism yet? I'm going to answer your question with another question, which is how do you know the difference between a sprinkle of sand and a pile of sand? That might seem like a ridiculous question, but philosophers have thought about this. The transition from democracy to totalitarianism will not be a binary switch. Just like the transition from 1 or 2 grains of sand, a sprinkle of sand, to a pile of sand is not a binary switch. And this has a name which is called the Socrates paradox. If your right to the freedom of speech is taken just a little bit, it's sort of like adding, your 501st grain of sand to the sprinkle. It isn't really a pile yet, it's just sort of a bunch of grains of sand. The logical structure of this question maps onto other things as well, like the abortion debate, for instance. When does a couple of cells become a thing with rights that we call a human person? And we can't go into the details in this format, but the solutions to the abortion debate follow the logical structure of the solutions to the Socrates paradox. How do you tell the difference between a sprinkle and a pile? Well, you just draw an arbitrary cutoff, right? Conception equals person, or birth equals person, right? Or some people draw heartbeat equals person. You just pick an arbitrary indicator and you say, you know what, it's not an ideal solution, but this is the indicator for which you have rights. So the question becomes, what indicators can you use to mark the transition from democracy to totalitarianism, democracy to fascism? My 8th grade students are not old enough to remember January 6th, but I remember January 6th, and I remember thinking to myself, this has got to be it, right? When the president is trying to violently change the results of an election through intimidation and threatening the execution of his vice president who won't uphold the rule of law, that's got to be the thing, right? Whoop, it's not just a sprinkle anymore, it's a pile of sand. But the structure of the last few years has been that, oh, nope, actually, that wasn't the thing. Turns out there can be another thing, which is we could pack the Supreme Court with justices who advance something called unitary executive theory, which is a theory of that just the president gets to do whatever the hell he wants. That should be the thing, right? Oh, we're making kings. We're legally creating the structure for kinghood to re-exist. That's got to be the thing, right? Or maybe it's Venezuela, and the president just decided, I'm taking over Venezuela and no one can stop me. And maybe that's the thing. And Lord knows we can go on, right? In the original drafts of this video, I thought it would just do a whole lot of indicators, and I would say, you know what probably the indicator is? It's when the United States government is killing American citizens in the streets and literally nothing happens. That might be the indicator. Or maybe the fact that the president has a paramilitary force now. The president's personal paramilitary force is in the streets killing American citizens wearing masks. Certainly, that's the thing. But I think perhaps it might be better to just advance the way that we are thinking about this problem. It is not the last straw that breaks the camel's back, but all of the straws and the weight of time. So if you yourself are waiting for the last indicator, the last thing beyond which you will decide that I must take action, perhaps I would encourage you to reflect that you may be too politically and ethically passive in the process of witnessing the systematic erosion of your own rights.